Mark goes to the movies. Mark goes to the movies. Mark goes to the movies. Long kick shout. Mark goes to the movies. Mark goes to the movies. Mark goes to the movies. Mark goes to the movies.
This is a goose. You listen to Mark Goes to the Movies. Huh? Maybe.
Hey guys, welcome to Mark Goes to the Movies, and we're going to talk about Mark's heroes, the people that really just I want to just give you don't really tell people how much they mean to you. You don't get the chance. So this is I just wanted to just give a nice shout out to some older people. You know, there are a lot of people best friends in the world, Scott and Goose, those guys. These are about the people that yeah, I really just growing up that because I didn't have a father figure, right? I had a stepdad who was absolutely just a piece of shit. That's another episode. But so growing up very poor, uh, the teachers, like we would bounce around from school to school. And the first one's gonna be Coach May, Coach Jim May. Uh, I think he coaches for Sykeston now, but he was the defensive coach for Chaffee. God, I know 2006, 2007, because those are the years that I was there. And yeah, I don't know. There's enough nice things to say about this guy. He first teacher that I ever actually was even interested in somebody interested in his students. Like obviously, I was struggling with parents at home, and nothing against my mom or I put it all on my stepdad. He was an alcoholic. He's wrecking cars and shit. We never had a car for most of my childhood growing up because Kenny would drink and he would get DUIs and he would flip cars because he would drive on the levee. You know what a levee is? Is a narrow piece of land, I guess, with the road, narrow road. And he was drunk and he'd sit there and fly down these levees and the gravel roads because we lived down in the country and the car would flip down a hill. And he did that shit like 4 or 5 times. Just again, so we didn't get to go to the store a lot. Uh, didn't get that's probably why he explains it now. Why I go to the store a bunch, but we didn't get to go to the store a lot. Didn't have a normal childhood because of this. We usually had to wait until income tax time the next year to get money for a new car. So yeah, I mean, and when I was a junior and senior, when was it not my junior year, my senior year is when it happened. The summer of my senior year, going into senior year. One of the things they did is they had weightlifting camps. So we'd get up early in the morning, go to weightlifting camps. They would give you exercises and stuff, and you go lift weights and uh, I think we had that for a little while. Then you had football camps we went to a bunch, and all the kids. I don't know if Zach listens to these, but I think Zach might have been there. There's a few people there. So what we do is I would just hitch a ride to there's a place called S&W Cabinets, and they're like, yeah, you get cabinets out of a hardware store and stuff like that. They were nice heavy boxes, and so they would give like I don't know $40 each kid to unload these heavy ass cabinets, put them on a pallet, and then I think they unload it from a truck. Yes, we'd unload it from a truck by hand, and then put them on a pallet down on the ground, and then someone would come take them away. That was the easiest way to unload them, I guess. And you paid each kid $40. We did it a couple times, and again, I never had any money. Well, no one was giving me anything, so that's why I enjoyed getting that $40. It was a lot of money to me. Um, and yeah, I was really enjoyed it. It was nice getting money. Then I know there was one day it was no weightlifting, but they're like, "Hey, if you want to go work, they're unloading cabinets." And I didn't have a way to get a hold of anyone because again, no cell phones. And in 2007, cell phones weren't really big. I mean, they were out there, but I didn't have any. You had the Nokia phones, I think. They yeah, so I started walking, which was like would have been a pretty ridiculous walk. Would have been maybe God 6 7 miles. Like it's not that crazy. Would have been 6 7 miles, and yeah, there was a kid. I think he kind of was oh message. Oh, he's found me walking there, and he's like, "Hey pal, what are you doing?" I said, "I want to walk to unload these cabinets, get some money." And he's like, "No, we're not doing it." So disappointing. But that same day we had I think it was back when football camp started. So you go weightlifting camp in the morning, and then after weightlifting camp would be a football camp where you just work on some original stuff. And Coach Magus heard that I was interested in making some money, so he goes, "Hey pal, I got you want to go make some money? You can help me out." And gave me a pair of New Balance shoes, which again I didn't have anything as a teenager, like nothing. There was no new clothes, nothing. School supply when they said, "Hey, you don't need school supplies," we didn't get anything. So when he gave me an old pair of New Balance shoes, I was like, "This is pretty fucking cool, dude." Because I had well, that's not so early. They usually get my younger brother and younger sister with school supplies. We'd sometimes get new shoes. I thought I was doing him a favor by getting those Velcro shoes with people that have diabetes and the guy with the Velcro shoes. $10. I said, if I get these Velcro shoes, maybe I'll get a shirt that has something on it, like maybe a new shirt, right? Something to show off in there. No, they said you saved some money for us. Thanks, Mark. So, getting a pair of New Balance shoes, name brand shoes, was pretty fucking awesome. Really appreciate, and then didn't stop from there. So he'd flip houses with his buddy, also named Jim. He's Jim May. I forget what his buddy's name is. It was also Jim though. He owned a gas station because he what they would do is they'd flip houses in the summer, and they needed someone to pick up and do some odd jobs around the house, and they would just drop me off, and they'd go play golf. Well, I went to go pick up trash for 6 7 hours. They'd give me something to, or they give me something to eat on the way back. It's crazy. I only got paid $5 an hour, which is pretty crazy now. But like, it wasn't like, oh, you worked 6 hours, here's $30. It was, oh, I got 220s, here's $40 for the work you did. Good job. And they'd give me a couple Powerades, a pair of gloves, and then for lunch, he'd give me lunch at the gas station, and it was usually like fried chicken and stuff. And God, the best fried corn on the cob I ever had in my life. Not like a fried like normal. They breaded it like a piece of chicken. They would bread it and then fry it, and God, it was so good. I've tried to find somewhere else that makes that. Mm, Haven't been able to do it. But yeah, I did that for like a summer, and man, he said they were talk football, and like the dude really cared about people, he cared about his kids, and that's what makes him like. I wanted to be a gym teacher. Um, that was like that was a big goal for me, and then I didn't like kids, and I was like, it's probably a good thing I didn't do that. But he's one of those guys when someone comes in there and they do such a good job with their job of being a teacher and being a good role model that they're making other people want to be like you. They're so young and impressionable when they're kids. That's what's scary about having the internet now for these children. Like they're so young and impressionable. Like no one is like it's like no one's monitoring in this stuff. But like they're looking for someone to look up to. I was lucky enough to have Jim May, Coach May was huge for me, and I'll never forget the nicest thing he ever did is so look at the Letterman jackets. They're very expensive. I got $300 jacket with the patches too. I had the captain's patch and then I had the honorable mention all conference patch. I don't know how much it cost. Here's the funny thing. So like they'd post up, you'd order them, and then you had to pay them. And I was going to school one day, and they're like, "Mark, you owe $300 for a jacket." And I was like, $300? You ain't getting that from me. Never seen that much money in my life. Like, fuck you, dude. So I was like, yeah, you're not getting that. And didn't think anything of it. I was like, that's gotta be a mistake. I'm not paying it because we don't have $300 in my household. We're eating I'm eating Roman noodles every day. Like, shit, I ain't got it. And then I felt so bad to this day. I'll never forgive myself. It was the day before Christmas, so it was half a day. People don't go to school that day. But Coach May got the jacket for me. Him and his buddy Jim got the jacket for me. I still have. I know my kids have it. I gave it to them. I think it's my youngest has it. But yeah, they he bought the jacket for me. $300. Uh, didn't even get a chance to give it to me. And I was like, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. This is insane to have this jacket. Cause like it's you want to feel normal. When you're poor, you want to be normal. You want to have normal stuff. I would love to have been able to drive and have a car. Didn't happen. Would love to be able to have people over. Didn't happen because we had roaches and the smell of smoke was so thick. Like when I moved out of that house, just like going over there, the smell and the nicotine was so thick in that house. It's like, God damn, no wonder no one ever wanted to come over. It was a handicap. It's and again, you're saying you're young and impressionable. Normally you'd have your parents, uh, or your dad, your father. That's where your father figure comes in. Didn't have one, and thankfully Jim May's there. And the reason I bring up this whole special is that I have a friend Zach. The only person I still talk to from high school is Zach McDaniel. Old Garrett Pebble, still name's Pebble. He'll comment every now and then on my post. I don't know if anyone of those guys even listen to this. They're all internationally, so it's all 50% foreign at this point. But yeah, so Zach actually worked with Coach May. Again, everyone loved Coach May. He was the best person, right? You could be a great teacher. He's the best person I know. And yeah, Zach, I guess was telling him about me, and Coach May wanted me to have his number, so I have his number now. I'm gonna reach. It's really hard because I work nights. I don't want to message him late at night. But yeah, I got his number, so I'm planning to reach out to him at some point, and just like God, the life I've lived is insane. Surely it didn't go to plan, but like man, it's I owe a lot to him. It's oh, he gave me $100 graduation. Let's not let's not forget that. Or was it 100? Maybe no wait. You gave me something for graduation. You gave me some money for graduation. I don't know if it was 100. Teachers gave like as so weird because like I didn't get anything from anyone. My parents were poor, but the art teacher, I'm forgetting her name. Is I'm blanking out. She was it's Coach May's mother-in-law was the art teacher, and she gave me like I think it was like $40. They don't give it to everyone, right? I don't know. I don't know what Coach Gay gave me. They gave me something though. Him and that and like for graduating, because like my parents didn't get me anything. My parents got me an IOU, and when I tried to collect on that IOU, I got yelled at. That's kind of. I mean, look, I can romanticize my relationship with my mother. And like, hey, she was a great person. She was very nice, but she had a lot on her plate, right? so I don't hold anything against her. And then once those things started dropping off, once the other kids, because the other kids suck. We were being honest. My brother and sister, my brother especially, is a piece of work. My sister, I don't know what she's doing now, but like she was pretty rough growing up. It was a lot of work. And then my stepdad is the piece of shit that killed her. So not I don't blame her, right? But like yeah, they didn't give me much. And yeah, thank God for people like Coach May. Say another one is Coach May. I didn't really have anyone. I had Bret Hart growing up, right? Bret the Hitman Hart. He was my favorite wrestler. Absolutely love the guy. As a small child, it would be Bret Hart. I got to meet him at God, where was that? Schwamberg. Probably didn't pronounce it right. But Schwamberg. He had a wrestling show for Dreamwave. It was a small independent wrestling company, and me and Scott drove up there, and I got to meet him, and I was so starstruck by the guy. I gave him my Simpson action figure, and he loved it. He's usually like normally a grumpy guy, but he loved the action figure. He asked me where I got it. I could barely muster out an answer. I was like, "Oh shit, this is the greatest. This is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be." Like he's the man, right? And yeah, so I'd say the kid. Then Stone Cold was like my favorite wrestler. Teenage years, he was amazing. Like Uncle Jerry, I looked up to him. I don't know who he was, like the coolest person. I think he's a race car driver for a little while. I think it's when my stepdad was a little jealous. He's a piece of shit alcoholic, and Uncle Jerry's a race car driver. What do you, dude? He drove motorcycles. What do you? You can't compete with that guy. But the nicest thing my Uncle Jerry ever did for me, I still don't know the story to this day, or why it happened, or like was maybe something behind it. But like they showed up out of nowhere. I think I've told the story about when me and my mom saw The Hills Have Eyes out of nowhere. Seeing the movie out of nowhere was always a big thing for me. But yeah, they took me to see The Longest Yard. My aunt Shelly and my uncle Jerry just said, "Hey, you can't find Josh. Do you want to go with us?" And instead of just being like, we're gonna take nobody, they took me. And yeah, I got to see The Longest Yard, the remake with Adam Sandler and all those wrestlers in it, and Chris Rock. It was that meant a lot. Those tiny gestures mean a lot. That's why I am worried about my children. I am worried that they got spoiled. Uh, again, they didn't have a struggle life at all. Maybe early on, but like past couple years, man, Julie's seen her favorite band. Peyton's seen her favorite band. Green Day and Red Hot Chili Peppers. They've gone to mini concerts. Six Flags season passes. I mean, what more do you want, right? They get new clothes, all that stuff. They got the stuff I never had. So I worry about do they appreciate some of the stuff? They don't know the struggle. I have so many struggle stories. I was gonna wait. I'm gonna tell them through a couple episodes. I think I have so many stories. Just growing up in general, and yeah, that's Jim. Oh, this is weird because like I'm a grown up, but I think you still admire people and look up to them. Bradley Blake, mentioned him a couple times on this show. Brad is weird because like I have a nice story. I'll tell the worldwide story in another episode. But like he'd always have me tell this story to other people and like try to inspire him, I guess. But like, I'd sit there and I wouldn't even be in the position I am at work. Being a supervisor, it wasn't for that guy. He's the most charismatic person I've ever met in my life. He could be a politician. If we're being honest, he'd be a great politician. But the funny thing is like I'll sit there and defend this man no matter what. He can murder somebody, and I'll be like, "Look, innocent until proven guilty." Many people kill people, you know. Many people are accused of this. I would stick up for this man, whatever he did, because I think he's genuinely one of the best people on the planet. You know, the people that he looks out for, looks out for him. So he's a person that you put your faith in. He's one of the best. When I took I took the lead role. I was on first shift. I was stuck in a rut. You know, trying to stay on first shift and move up, trying to get more in life. And she's like, "Hey man, come to third shift." So applied. As a lot of steps happened to get to that spot, but eventually I got there, and then we went to third shift, and I struggled. I think we both struggled, and then you kind of learned how to run a shift, you know, together. And that's like the best person I've ever worked with at that place. I don't know, Scott and that group we had, Scott, Goose, and Jared, and Tim back in the old days. That was a pretty good group. But Brad, a single person, he's one of the best. Really makes that place, like, again. I think he's a leader. And we got a manager spot role open up. I don't know if I'm gonna apply for it or not. I'm bouncing it back and forth, thinking about it. It's a big step. But if I wasn't gonna do it for sure, and I would want Brad to be the third shift manager on there, and then love to work with him again. He's my favorite person I worked with over there. But yeah, as far as that, I mean, that's the Coach May and Brad. Those are, and my Uncle Jerry. Those are the three that throughout life, and then I'd say Josh. It's so weird to look up to your little cousin, but Josh has made a good life for himself. I was really proud and happy for him. My cousin Kaylee, again, I don't think they listen. That's the frustrating thing. Look, I'm gonna be like, look, I said a lot of good things about you. You got to figure out the episode, and it's episode 64. You got to listen to every episode to get there. I think Kaylee is one of the best. Kaylee and Jeremy, one of the best parents in existence. Uh, they they do so well for their kids. It's funny that we ended up being so much better parents than our parents. I mean, that's how it works, right? But we're so much better. Like, we're not, like, none of us. The one, I don't know my brother and sister anymore. I haven't seen them in almost a decade. But like, it's kind of funny because like Travis ended up pretty well. Uh, Kaylee ended up pretty well. Josh ended up pretty well. I ended up pretty well. Like, we were all poor growing up, and we all did real well now. So I don't know. That's what makes me worry about my kids. You know, they don't know. I think it works. You know, can't give your kids everything. Just do the best you can, and just make sure they appreciate what you give. I think that's where some people get lost. But yeah, I just wanted to give a few stories of Coach Man. I'm looking forward to reaching out to him and catching up, and just again, like, the ridiculously crazy life that I live. And because there's no, like, I have two cousins. That's it. I don't have any contact with much of the other people besides people at work and just Scott. But yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, this is episode, I think, 64. Are we at 64? Let me see where we're at. 65, even better. We're trying to march to the 100, and it leaves us 35 more episodes to go. But there's one more in the books. Thanks, guys.